Good evening and welcome to Cherries Red Army. It's good to have you back. I want to start with a few thank yous from the last stream that we had. It was really great to have the reception that we had. It was a great return. We had a great panel and it was good to see you back on Cherries Red Army. So thank you so much for that. Also, a couple of more thank yous as we get started into this latest stream. For everyone who jumped back on the monthly membership, thank you so much. Really supportive. And we also got a nice sponsorship from Gina straight after the last show. So you can donate. I'll talk to you a bit more about that later, but thank you very much. It was an interesting weekend since we were last here, and we're going to go through it tonight. So we had a trio of contract renewals. Brighton win that took us up to 4th in the Premier League. So the panel tonight are going to be really, really excited. It's a good little run that we're on, and it was a great win at the weekend. And that was the best start to a Premier League season. Many players banging form, including Antoine Semenyo, who I think got voted Player of the Month. So I'm sure he'll get mentioned in this stream. And obviously next, it's Eddie Howe and Newcastle. And they are playing right now. So I'm sure we'll get some updates in the stream, in the chat. So they're playing Barcelona in the Champions League, which is why this fixture on Sunday is at 2:00. Now, in the chat, get yourself in there. It was a really proactive chat last time, really interactive. We've also got guess the players back, a little bit harder than last time. And we've also got a new segment later on, members questions. So lots and lots to discuss. Now, what was your moment of the weekend? It was a 2-1 win over Brighton. So in the interactive chat, let us know you're here and give us your moment of the weekend. It doesn't necessarily need to be a goal or the penalty or, why does Matoma always score against us? But what was your moment of the weekend? Football related. And then we'll ask the panel as well. Whilst you're doing that, let's just take a look at our highlights of that vlog at the weekend. Bournemouth 2, Brighton 1. It's a Bournemouth win today. No Diakite, worried?
No. Why would I be worried? It's Andoni here. He knows what he's doing.
Seen the recent fixtures between us here. We win, they win, we win, they win. We due to win today.
Well, how can I argue with that? That's a statistical bomb right in front of my face.
Yeah. Goals in this game, 2 attacking sides.
I mean, they got the lightning pace of Milner.
Yeah, well, big opportunity for the young lad, and see what he's all about, because he's come with he's got a big sort of reputation.
Interesting decision at right back to go with James Hill over Jimenez. Is it the Matoma factor that's playing a part here?
Is that a Brighton player?
Score prediction today?
I've gone 2-1.
I think we'll win 2-1. He'll score the second winner.
Brilliant. So you've got your score prediction 2-1. Albert?
I went 2-1 as well.
Right, let's go Reds. 2-1 to the Cherries. Got the win. Right, good to see those highlights, and thank you to the 700 of you that watched that matchday vlog. And it was also good to see over 100 likes as well. Steve Hensman, you're in the same club as me this weekend. We got the score prediction correct.
I know, it's really strange from me. It's all weird. There's all this weirdness going on. I'm getting things right. Shame I never put it on my bet slip, though. That's when it all goes wrong. As soon as I put it on my bet slip, it never comes in. But yeah, I just felt we'd sneak a tight win, and so it turned out. But yeah, good to see you all again, and looking forward to the show.
Moment of the weekend, Steve?
Well, I just said this to you off air. I quite enjoyed the big South Coast derby that was broadcast live on Sky. You know, it really. I did thank the Lord that I'm not watching a South Coast derby like that. Christ, it brought a smile to my face, and that we're not playing that sort of football.
Yeah, and they waited so long for it as well. I mean,
know.
once
Damn
Southampton knew they were going down, they were like, "It's okay, we'll play Portsmouth next year," and they were getting excited about it. And there was nothing to get excited about.
Well, they were lucky
on
not
Sunday.
to lose to them.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Aaron, good to see you again on another Cherries Red Army, the fan show stream. Moment of the weekend?
Well, I actually love that South Coast derby because it's a perfect time to have a snooze. But no, my moment of the weekend has to be Milos again. Ole, ole. We found our new Zab House, and whoever you want to call him. We found another diamond, and yeah, that's just unbelievable how we unearth these players, and he's become a cult hero already. So yeah, 18 years old. My moment of the weekend was seeing him make his debut.
Same as your boy. Good to see you, Chris Hubble. Josh K is in there. John Spark can't be with us this evening, but he is catching up with the show where he can. Steve saying hello in the chat. Steve Connor's also with us. Mark Cole, Auntie Skeptic. What? No, Statman. No, he's not available tonight. He did have an offer, but he's not available tonight. I think he plays snooker or pool on a Thursday. I might be wrong. So we will move these days around when we do these streams. Matt Davies, first appearance of the season. Good to have you back. You've missed this, haven't you?
I've missed it, mate. Yeah, I've missed it big time. Yeah, it's great to be back, Kurt. Yeah, great to see you boys, and great to see us having such a fantastic start to the season, boys, isn't it? And yeah, it was unexpected in many ways with all the departures in the summer, players coming in, which you never quite know how that's going to work out and how much time that's going to take to pay dividends and gel. But it's been a fantastic start, and none more so than the win on probably the most satisfying win of them all. I know Spurs away was probably the highlight win, the headline win, if you like. But Saturday to grind that one out against a really good side in Brighton. I mean, they're as good a side as Tottenham for me. And to come out on the winning side, it ebbed and flowed, didn't it, the game? And to make sure that we came out winners was most satisfying. I've got to echo Aaron's comments about moment of the weekend, though, because when we lost Dean Housen, it was a huge hole in the back four, gaping hole, big loss, huge loss. And you thought, how are we going to replace him? And we signed an 18-year-old who you think, well, we're going to have to give him time, aren't we? This could take a year or two. There still could be a big gaping hole in our back four, even though Senesi's stepped up to the mark, having lost Sabs as well. But it was unbelievable, wasn't it, on Saturday? And that was just so fantastic to see that we're unearthing these gems. And, even 18 years old, no Premier League experience. He's ready to come straight in and he adapts. He understands what Andoni's asking of him, gels well with the team around him. And, yeah, it was just unbelievable and fantastic to see.
Yeah, absolutely was. We've also got Philip saying moment has to be Scott's goal, was right behind it. I think we'll talk about Alex Scott in a moment. And we've got Morgan Scott in the chat as well. So good evening, Morgan. And Steve Connor does say it's all Newcastle at the moment in the Champions League game. So a few of you might be watching this and also watching the Newcastle game on another device. And we are going to talk about Newcastle. But first of all, what I need to do is I need to get prepared. And let's look at the table because it's really interesting, Steve. And we got to enjoy these moments. As I said at the start of the week when I was on BBC Solent, we got up to 5th later on in the season, but we got up to 5th last year. Really early on this season, Steve, we're 4th in the Premier League, and we're currently holding in ourselves with Liverpool, Arsenal, Tottenham, and Chelsea.
Yeah, and we've already beaten Tottenham, so we deserve to be there. There's no doubt about it. We've played some really good football so far, and like Matt said, we didn't know how it was all going to pan out after all the the departures and the new boys in, but they've hit the ground running. And it's not just them, the new boys. It's a lot of the existing players who I'm sure we'll get on to talk about. We've signed a few new deals, and they all seem to be sort of getting even more comfortable with Andoni and with Andoni ball. They were good at it last year, but the start we've had this season, I just think they've been more controlled performances as well. They haven't been so sort of like, I don't know. Some games we were coming back and we were leaving it all like late. We seem to have strengthened in a way with our defensive work. I don't know, like people say that Truffet's an upgrade on Kirkes, and I disagree. I know it's early days and we're making all these assumptions straight away, but so far with the eye test, he is better than Kirkes from what I've seen. And then you get these couple of new lads that come in and hit the ground running. They look like they've been here for years, albeit we've only seen them for a couple of games, but it's promising signs. So yeah, we deserve to be where we are on the table, and I think we've got some very winnable games coming up. So who's to say we can't sort of be there for the mainstay a bit more this season?
It's a great little mini run we're on, Matt, and I know that as Bournemouth fans, we will probably put our feet on the ground and go, we will peak and we will trough, sort of thing, and there'll be highs, there will be lows. Can we get excited being fourth after 4 games?
Well, all it is a solid start, isn't it? A really solid start, a great start, probably as good a start as we could have hoped for, and some really. I think the only criticism in the early games would be not putting teams to bed. I mean, we've missed a host of chances, particularly you look at the Wolves game, you look at the Tottenham game. It should have been. I mean, you can take pros and cons from that. That can be a positive and a negative, can't it? We're creating those chances and we're dominating football matches against perceived, great sides in opposition. And we're going toe to toe with those teams, and namely Tottenham away, and we're outplaying them. The only disappointment is that we're not putting the ball in the back of the net as much as we should be. And if that continues in those sort of games, then that obviously will come back to bite us a little bit. So that would be the only, if you were being ultra critical, that would be the only blot on the copybook, really. But you can't be ultra critical. We've kept 2 clean sheets already. We've gone toe to toe with Liverpool at Anfield, and arguably should have got a draw out of it. And we've come out the right side of a very, very tight game against Brighton, which we probably would have lost in previous seasons. So all in all, it's an unbelievable start. And just to sort of latch on to what Steve was saying there about the new lads and how they've hit the ground running, I think the other bonus has been players that we'd maybe written off a little bit coming back into form. And we talked
like
about
new
this.
signings, haven't they, Matt? A bit.
Yeah. You talked about it in previous shows, lad. But the likes of David Brooks, Marcus Senesi, even Marcus Tavernier, just look like they've got such fresh impetus this season. And they've obviously sat down with the coaching team with Andoni over the summer and during pre-season. And they look, as Steve said, they look like different players, really, and much better players. And that's almost like having new signings, as you say, Steve, in itself. So that has also contributed to the start we've had. That's been invaluable, really.
Where does that praise go then, Matt? Because I didn't see this David Brooks. I saw this David Brooks before his illness, and we knew what he could do. And it's been a long journey to this form and this fitness and this bite and this ambition. Where is it? Is it a bit of David Brooks? Is it a bit of a group of people? Is it just what Andoni can do for players? Where do you think it's all coming from?
Well, if you take David Brooks in isolation, then you have to lavish praise on David Brooks himself, because the mental strength that it obviously takes to come back from what he's been through, namely his cancer, but also on the back of that, he's had injury issues as well. He's probably some personal problems going on. So the mental strength and resilience that takes to come back from that, forget about the physical side of things, is phenomenal. And it's taken him some time. And that was probably always going to be the case from the moment he got his cancer diagnosis. He was out of form a little bit before that. And there was obviously reasons for that. We know that now when he got the diagnosis. But to see him come back to the player he once was, and probably better now, is testament to David Brooks, 100%. However, you'd have to say that Andoni Iraola and his coaching staff deserve massive credit as well, because they've persisted with David Brooks. They've kept faith in David Brooks. They've backed him 100%. They've kept him within the football club. They've had every belief in him. And they've worked so hard behind the scenes, no doubt, to get him back to the player that he now is and adapt his game. He understands what's required of him fully now from Andoni. So you have to give massive credit to the coaching staff and the manager as well for that. So I would say, in answer to your question, Kirk, it's a combination of the two, but it's absolutely fantastic to see. It really is, because David Brooks on form offers a lot to us as a football team at this level. And we've seen it before when he first came, his first couple of seasons. We know what he's capable of. I think he just needs to start adding a few goals to his game now. A lot of it will have been confidence that's been holding him back, perhaps over the last couple of seasons, and certain other things like that I've highlighted already. But yeah, that's all that's lacking now. I think he just needs to add a few more goals, and we'll see a David Brooks that can be an absolute game changer for us throughout the course of the season.
Ben says in the chat, feels like we've signed more intelligent players and they can get up to speed faster than in previous years. And just quickly, Aaron, when we think about positives before that Brighton game, when we're talking about David Brooks, a new contract to 2029. James Hill had a good performance against Brighton, new contract to 2029. And Marcus Tavernier, for me, I know he can be hit and miss in front of goals sometimes, but I think he's fantastic. And you can see that he's so critical to the cog system that Andoni Iraola needs.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest compliment you can play to Marcus Tavernier is that you miss him when he's not there. He does have his criticisms, but I think he's kind of found his position now. I never really saw him as a winger. He sometimes just it wasn't as effective there as other players within the squad. And the biggest compliment you can play him at the moment is he's keeping Clive out of the team. And I think he's so central. He hardly ever comes off. He's always there for 90 plus minutes. He's hardly ever subbed. And I think Andoni trusts him in every aspect of the game, both defensively, going forward. He did really well, actually, for the penalty. He seemed to be running down a blind alley a bit, and then he's still, with 5 players around him, still managed to find Evan Nilsson.
Was anyone else thinking he should have just shot from distance?
Yeah, possibly, but I think he probably would have skewed it, and that's no disrespect to him. I doubt he would have scored from there. It would have been an absolute worldie if he'd have scored from there. So
I was losing my mind. I was going, shoot!
You're a few rows in front of me, Stephen. He's been pivotal. It's great to tie him down. There was a few rumours in the summer about Tav going. I couldn't see that happening, to be honest with you. And and Matt mentioned everything.
Well, it was only West Ham. I mean, who wants to go to West Ham?
Well, no, exactly. That's true.
I mean, it's not the stadium.
No, absolutely not. I do feel for West Ham at the moment. But Matt said everything needs to be said about David Brooks. I personally had written him off, not as a footballer, but just as whether he could cut it for us in the Premier League with Andoni's system. He's proving again a starter. He's keeping Adley out of the team at the moment, I guess. Or Cliver, whatever they are, and he deserves to keep his place. He's just nailed on starter at the moment. And James Hill, the third one, look, I mean, is he a regular starter for me? No, but he's a fantastic squad player to have. He can play centre back, right back, centre defensive midfield. He does have the odd lapse of concentration, as showed for the goal on Saturday, but 95% of the game he's really solid and does a good job. So a valuable member of the squad to tie down as well, and he's only going to get better. He's still young himself, so. Really good news. Just 2 more to go, really, from my perspective. One big one, and one would be really nice to have as well.
Yeah, Andoni Iraola, maybe not 10 years, but can we have at least one more and just keep saying one more every season after that?
Just one more times 10.
We definitely need to sort that out, and I think the club are all over it. I think if we can nail Andoni down to a longer contract, that would be fantastic. Philip Sterling, Steve, in the chat is praising Marcos Senesi. I tell you what, I tell you what I wasn't doing on opening night at Anfield was praising Marcos Senesi, who also has a contract that ends at the end of this season. I thought he was horrendous for the first goal we conceded this season, but he's settled in Diakite. He's now settled in Milo, and actually, he's been fantastic since Anfield.
Yeah, do you know what? I've been meaning to sort of bring this up as everyone's going on about how well those lads have settled into the team. But you've got to kind of look and say, why? How has it been made so easy for him? I think a part of that's got to go to the thanks has got to go to, or the praise should go to Senesi, because he was overlooked for quite a large part of the season. I know he was injured a lot of it, but when he got back to fitness, he couldn't get back in the side because of Howson. There was rumours he might actually move on because he's only got that year left in the summer. He's come back in and he's had to play with 2 unknowns, really, to him, to the team. And he's made, and it looks like they've been playing together, both of them. And then he's only played 2 matches with one and one with the other. And they look like they've played together for years. Apart from that, maybe that Liverpool game, there's a bit of it miscommunication on a couple of times. But since then, I think the only other time I can think there was a bit of a balls up at the back was probably the beginning of the Wolves game, but that was Senesi himself that got underneath the ball, missed the header, and Diakite got him out of trouble. But it's got to have a little bit of praise because it can't be easy gelling with two new centre backs like that. And it's not like we've been playing really, really easy teams. You've been away to Spurs and done it, kept a clean sheet. And then also you've got to give a bit of praise to Tyler Adams as well, because I think him sitting in front of that back four really does give them, really good protection. He's everywhere in front of them. He's doing all the dirty work, and he's limiting what they have to do in some respects. So hats off to him. Hats off to Senesi massively. And going on to how he's looking this season, Senesi, that is, I just think he's back to what we saw before when he first came into the side. And he looks a threat when he goes forward. He's even showboating in the middle of the park. Did you see that on the weekend? He was lobbing the ball over some bloke. I think it was Reuter's head. And I'm just thinking,
people forget how good he was before Howson came along.
Yeah,
exactly that. And he is a great player. He's a little bit lacking in pace, but what he lacks in pace, he makes up with in his head and reading the game. And I've got a lot of time for that, because you don't have to be blisteringly fast. It will get you out of get out of stick sometimes. But if you can read the game and you've got the first sort of 5 yards up in your head, it's you don't need to be quick, and it shows in his play. He can spray a lot. He can spray a really good long pass. Hats off to him. He's looking like the player we all thought we had a few years, well, probably season before last. He's back to his best.
So redemption for Senesi, Matt, but we do now need to talk about our new 18-year-old Serbian defender, Milo, to make my life a little bit easier. I think I can say it, but it's just easier to say Milo, and we've got the song going. He's taking it from Dean Howson. That was happening inside Dean Court. So before the game, the team lineups come out. No Diakite. He's straight in. Was you worried? Because in the end, I was really impressed with how calm and collected he was for an 18-year-old.
Unbelievable debut. I think it was akin to, I think it was Dean Howson's debut at Nottingham Forest away last year on the opening day, where again we were a little bit short of players on that day, weren't we? On the opening day, we had no number 9, if I remember, and then Howson stepped in at centre back. And my reaction to the team news that day was, I think we're in a bit of trouble today. And I felt exactly the same on Saturday when I read the team sheet, because I thought, looking at Brighton's front line and what they've got to offer in attack, lumping an 18-year-old in with absolutely no Premier League experience is a big, big ask. When you looked at the team on Saturday, there was a couple of other notable absentees like Smith and Christie, where you felt we probably needed their guile and experience and running and energy and all the rest of it. So I did worry, but I had no reason to. None of us did we? Because the debut was so assured and so outstanding. I mean, he just gave everything, didn't he? He gave everything for the cause. He gelled, he knitted in seamlessly, and like Steve said, credit to Senesi for that. For alongside him, he sort of managed him through the game well as well. So you have to give Senesi big credit. When you got an 18,
took no risks.
No. He was no nonsense, wasn't he? He was no nonsense. But he gave everything. He was closing down. He was making sure nobody was getting behind him. He was strong. He was aggressive. He put himself about. Yeah, he did the basics well, and that's what he would have. That's what you want from an 18-year-old making a Premier League debut. First thing first, get the basics right, and he did exactly that. He did everything.
And to play like that shows maturity, I think.
Yeah, massive maturity
beyond his years.
It's reminiscent of Howson at Forest last year, because we felt the same about him on the day, didn't we? We thought, this lad's outstanding. This lad's got something. Is he going to be in the Howson mould? But time will tell with that. I mean, that will
Let's give him more than one game, shall we?
Yeah. That would be a huge ask.
He's a legend already.
He is.
Yeah.
The big question is going to be if Diakite comes straight back in if he's fit. I mean, what do you do about that?
Wow. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? We don't want to get too carried away because he's had a really, really good performance. But I think I would like to see Diakite come in and just bide your time with it.
He's been good as well. He's been great.
Yeah, absolutely. If Milo comes in, and he has to play his part here and there, again, I feel like as well with this model, it's a great model that we're building, but I don't want to be losing players after 1 year. I understand that now. I think I understand that there's a purpose behind selling them, because you do allow the next one to come in because they can see what's happened to Zabani. They've seen what happened to Howson, but we've got to try and keep him a little bit longer.
So don't play him in case he's too good.
Inevitably we'll get a couple of injuries and they'll have to play.
That's how Dino got his chance last year.
Exactly. Yeah.
he came in and he was taken out of the team again because it was too soon for him. But
Yeah.
I thought our hand was forced in the end, wasn't it? So
yeah, and we've only had one game this weekend. We'll get on to speak about it, but Voltemada will be a completely different challenge for them.
Yeah.
Well, the only thing is, he's very tall, and Milos our tallest centre back by a country mile. So that's
Yeah, but he's even taller than him.
Paul said he played very well, especially against Welbeck. I just thought we were fantastic. I think there was that period just after half time where we weren't out the traps. They clearly had a bit of a telling off in the changing rooms and they were quick out the blocks. Of course, Matoma scored. But then once I think we settled down again, we were the better team. Steve, as I'm watching Milo and I'm looking at his game, because this is what I've said this before on the channel, I just focus in like the old fan cam that you used to get and I just want to see what they can do. So he was very calm and collected. He was strong. He wanted to do the right things. I thought his dual success was great. And then I thought there's a really key area I need to watch here, especially when you're playing alongside Senesi. When the ball bypasses Senesi, what is Milo's recovery pace? Because that's the only concern I have with Senesi. And I think there was one moment where I think Rutter got behind and it hit the side netting. And
Minter,
he looked. Sorry, it was Minter. He looked. He looked quick across the surface when he saw Senesi was in trouble.
Yeah. He mopped. Yeah, he's got. Yeah, I'm not going to say he's got good feet. Got good feet for a tall guy. No, I don't think he had much to do in the respect. But I remember a couple of moments where he did have to sort of almost, like Matt said, he was doing the basics right, but there was a kind of times where he sort of, I have to do this now, and we saw what he can do, and there was a bit that he's not slow, he's got some pace there, he's not rapid, of course, because he's a centre back, but he's got enough to get him out of trouble, and if he's anything like me, he's got massively long legs, which could also get you out of trouble with a couple of slide tackles here and there. So, I thought it was a brilliant performance by him. I thought there was a couple of moments as well where he kind of sort of didn't know where to pass it, didn't know where to go long. And he actually backed himself a little bit like Zabani would and stepped forward with the ball. It only happened a couple of times, but he didn't really do much. He just sort of stepped into the gap, really. But, he had the confidence enough to do that. He didn't just turn around and play the ball back. I think he must have, obviously Andoni, and he knows the way we play. But said, we go forward, we get the ball up the other end as quickly as we can. So I was more than delighted with his performance. I thought, like Matt said, you're always worried when you see someone make their debut, especially after being in the door for 5 minutes at such a young age. But duck to water, he really was. And I've said it's only one game, but early signs are bright.
Yeah, it definitely.
I was going to say it could have been. He obviously saw enough of him in the 3 days of training because it could have been very easy for him to put James Hill at centre back.
Exactly, yeah.
And then Araujo or Jimenez obviously at right back. But he obviously trusted him. So, worked out.
Matt, very, very quick question. Yes or no answer. Simon Francis was a good right back. Is he better at recruiting very talented centre backs that end up playing for Champions League teams?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you'd have to say so at the moment, wouldn't you? On this evidence, and who'd have thought that back in 2015?
Well, he did play centre back a few times when he had to, so maybe he just sees it. So let's move up. Let's move up the pitch a little bit, Aaron. Focusing and remaining on that Brighton win is the enforcer, Tyler Adams, has got over his hamstring issues, touch wood, and he is, and I'm going to, no one come for me if he gets injured at the weekend.
Yeah, injury incoming.
That's done it. That's done it now. Yeah.
Fantastic start to the season. Can't play 90 minutes, but Lewis Cook was on the bench this weekend to come back in and help him. He is fantastic, Tyler Adams. He reads the game so well, breaks it up, gets us going on the front foot. Yeah, take it away, Tyler Adams, because he's getting a lot of praise now.
Look, I said in my last show, he's my first name on the team sheet. There's two players I think this team can't lose, and that's Evan Nilsson and Adams at the moment, because there's no one else can play anything like them. And Adams, for me, is the most important player. The reason he can't last 90 minutes is because he's basically covering two players every single time because he's that good. And you forget last year he allowed, when he wasn't there, you miss him because he allows the players in front of him to be able to do more and affect the game more. And I think his partnership with Alex Scott is very, very interesting because when they first were signed, I thought eventually this should be the centre midfield partnership, Adams and Scott. Last year, Christie was player of the season, unbelievable. And, you know, I'm sure he's got a massive part to play. But at the moment, he shouldn't be getting back in this team because Alex Scott and Tyler Adams are playing brilliantly together. And as I mentioned, Tav ahead of them. So Clivert and Christie can't get in. Lewis Cook obviously can't get in. So we've got real strength and depth. But yeah, at the moment, I think Adams is the one who, if he was injured for a period of time, it would most concern me because we've got no one else who can play. I mean, obviously Lewis can play there. Other players can potentially play there, but nowhere as good as effective as Tyler Adams. So we've got to keep him fit. Easier said than done. If we can, then yeah, he's the key in so many of these games, especially away from home when we're trying to hold on to a lead.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Tiggs from back of the net, Steve, wants to know, I think, if the
I read that
higher than Milo.
Well, maybe we need to get him in a high jump competition, see who's the best. I've got no idea, but I'd imagine. I don't know. It's like you get these players now and again, don't you, that just have an amazing spring in their step.
Well, it's the Philip Billing thing, isn't it? He should have won more headers than he did.
Yeah, you automatically think he's brilliant in the air just because he's tall, but it doesn't.
Well, Dango had an incredible leap on him, didn't he?
Well, I was just about to say, yeah, Dango could outjump most people, and you know, who's to say? I don't know. It'd be interesting if they ever get to play together, wouldn't it? I don't know if that would.
Bournemouth should do it. They should do a little 60-second.
Maybe, yeah, maybe put it on a little sort of like, you know, YouTube thing.
Yeah, if they actually watch this, which they probably won't. Josh K in the chat says 30 people so far. Everyone hit the like button. We got 40 now watching. We got up to 60 in our first stream back. And the likes are absolutely massive, guys, because they do help the video grow after it's finished. So when it goes out to people that watch it back on replay, please do hit the like button. It takes literally less than probably a second to do so. And we have to talk, Steve, about Alex Scott. This is the guy that's had a good start to the season. We were worried about having no Ryan Christie, but actually, do we need to be worried? Because Alex Scott has stepped up. I think he's looking a lot stronger. I think he got, you know, budged off the ball way too easy at times last year. We know he likes to go down and win free kicks, but the goal he scored was brilliant. How the quick snap, turn, left foot. I think the keeper wasn't expecting it. But Alex Scott, I think he only played 55 minutes. I'm not sure why, whether that was precaution. I'm hoping there's not an injury there. I thought he was brilliant till he went off the pitch. And your thoughts on his performance against Brighton and his important first goal?
Well, yeah. Can I just, before we get into that talking about him, I'll put this out to the chat. That was his first goal in the league, but he has scored another goal. Can anyone remember where it was and who it was against? Everyone's like looking blankly.
I remember his goal. It was disallowed once, but I can't.
Actually, don't tell me where it was. It was at home, and it was in the cup.
Yeah, which cup? It was not West Brom, was it? No.
Mark Jackson's.
Has Mark Jackson got it in the chat?
No.
Spurs at home.
Who else is going in?
Why is everyone going Spurs?
I think he did score away.
Yeah.
Steve, I think he did score away.
3-1 defeat. That is correct. He did get the goal. Yeah,
I remember that goal away from home. He scored.
Yes.
Oh, maybe my fact checking's rubbish then, because I thought so. Completely disregard that question.
What was it? What was the cup game he scored in?
I thought it was Swansea at home. Did he not score at Swansea at home? 2-0.
He might have done as well. Yeah, but he did definitely
in the FA Cup.
I tell you what he did do, Steve. He scored a great goal at the weekend. Get back on track.
He did. Let's right, ignore me. Let's just talk about the game. Yeah. Alex Scott, right. So for me, he's been flattering to deceive a little bit for a couple, since we've got him. He looks like he's. I always sort of likened him to a bit. He's got a little bit of the Gazzers about him, where he's got that body swerve. He can go past players, not particularly rapid, but he just. Yeah, Guernsey Grealish. There's been those comparisons, but he's got this technical ability within him that not a lot of players have got. We saw it against, was it Spurs the other week, where he just sort of did that little body swerve, completely sold a dummy to somebody, just glided past them, and we just haven't seen it enough. And what we haven't seen enough is him shooting, taking some opportunities, because he gets in some good positions. And also that playing him that little bit more forward, it gives him that. I think he's got that unlocking pass in him, where he can spot things others don't necessarily see. And I think that's a good thing for the likes of Evan Nielsen, because as we've said all the time, he makes so many runs and no one spots him. And the poor guy must be thinking, what have I got to do to get a through ball? And I think Alex Scott is the type of player that can pick those passes. On the weekend, I think if he'd stayed on the pitch for the whole game, I think he was a strong candidate for man of the match, to be honest. I think he really did a good job. He's a different player to Christie completely. It's a difficult quandary about what you want from that position, isn't it?
The fact that we're dealing without Christie is a positive for me.
Yeah, I absolutely.
This season.
Yeah, absolutely. But we're dealing with it in a different way, and that's I don't know. I don't know. It's weird because it's a little bit like Brooks, isn't it? Well, Brooks has come into his own a little bit. I mean, no one thought he was really that Andoni style, could press as well as the others. Christie, you can't odds him for the press he does. He's a bit like Harry Arter. He just chases the ball everywhere. Yeah. But Scott's not that player, nor is Brooks. But they've somehow over the last couple of seasons just tweaked their game, and they're now becoming more in tune with what the rest of with the press and the whole system, how it works. But they've also got that natural ability, and it just gives you that different level to someone like Christie or Cook, who haven't really got that natural ability. So I think if he can carry on and keep, as we always say about every player, keep them injury free. How old is he now? 23, 22?
Yeah, 22.
Yeah, he's got loads. There's loads.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
Exactly. There's loads more to come from him if he can keep himself fit, and he carries on the trajectory he's on. Because
22.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't so long. I mean, there's a part of his story was it gave up football completely, and he's come back, and now he's got to level his. Talk about comebacks with David Brooks. That's another comeback. Hats off to him. It's a good mental. I think he gave up football because of the mental side of it. If I remember rightly, from when he was a youth player, and he came back to it, and you wouldn't know that he's got such great ability, such confidence, and I think you got again. We'll just say hats off to Andoni for bringing that out of a player.
Yeah. So confirmation in the chat that he is 22. Paul says fitness is the key for Scott. Brooks, good pre-seasons, good run of games. And Aaron, Mark Cole backs it up. Maybe playing for the under-21s in the summer and gaining confidence from that has helped him kick on. And actually, not that I want Christie to be injured, or lacking fitness, but actually being able to start these early games has been a good boost for Alex Scott.
He just needs to run him a team. It's the same as anyone. Players like David Brooks are the same. You need a good run him a team. And I think any player at the moment will keep their place in the team until their form drops, which is fair enough. As I said before, the likes of Christie, Cook, Clivert, Adley, they're going to have to bide their time. And I think, what incredible players to come off the bench at the moment. But as I said, in the past, Christie and Cook were dynamic for us and did an unbelievable job. And I'm still sure that no doubt that they both got lots more to offer this season and could find themselves starting at some stage. But for now, for me, Adams and Scott are the first choice. They keep the shirt. They're the future, and they complement each other perfectly well. But as we said, there's going to be injuries, suspensions. We know there's going to be that. But at the moment, we've got the squad to cope with it. Whereas last season, a few injuries, and we were really down to the bare bones.
Okay, so there's a little poll going on inside YouTube in the interactive section for who's going to take on the guest player this week. Now, it's either going to be Steve or Matt. Matt might not have even seen the first guest player. He might have done. I'm not sure. But
hang on, Aaron can't get out of it just because
Aaron took part the first time. So
I got the first one.
But it wasn't even a challenge last week.
Well, let's see how you get on this week then, shall we?
There's a couple of.
I've just stitched myself up now, haven't I?
There's a couple of minutes to go in that. Steve is currently leading the vote. There's been 18 votes, and there are currently 32 people watching. So you've got a few minutes to...
Is it Lou for Blisset?
If you want Steve or Matt to play guest player. Matt, finally, to wrap up Brighton before we do guest the player, then we've got members' questions, and then we're going to think about Newcastle. We're going to talk about this guy a lot. 5 goal contributions in 4 games, probably the top performer in the Premier League at the moment. Antoine Semenyo, cool, calm and collected from the penalty spot. He got the assist for Alex Scott as well. New contract. He might go for big money. maybe next year. But I always said, Matt, that it was a good thing, the new contract, because he was either going to perform well, and if he goes for big money, he goes for big money. If he performed average, we'd probably keep him for 3 seasons. So I saw the whole thing as a bit of a win, really. But he's been absolutely fantastic. He's solid, and he's just banging form.
Yeah, I mean, none of us are stupid, are we? We all know that contract is beneficial for both parties, because the incentive for Antoine Semenyo is to have an unbelievable season, and then he gets his big move. Well, if he gets his big move, we get a £100 million fee plus. Has to be, doesn't it, really? And that'll be the sort of clause that's the release clause that's written into the contract. So it's win-win for all parties, really, I think, from here on in with Antoine Semenyo. But he's obviously hit the ground running along with a number of other players so far this season. He really has. We know what he's capable of. He's unplayable. If he's at it and on it, then he is literally unplayable. And he's one of a few players in this division of that nature, really, that nobody can get near. And we've seen it last season. You know, he's run the very best ragged. You think of the Manchester City home performance last year. You know, he's not just doing it against Ipswich Town or against, a so-called lesser team. He's doing it against the top boys. We saw his performance at Liverpool at Anfield on the opening day. So that won't go unnoticed by the big fish, the big clubs. But for this season, at least, it's a massive benefit for us, isn't it? So it's great to see. It's great to see. I mean, the aggression that he's got in his game. I actually quite like the barging of the Brighton fullback into the hall. I thought it was you know, in the old days, that's shoulder to shoulder, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? That's a challenge. He's gone into all right. He's ended up getting a little bit hurt, and the manager's got upset about it, and it's a bit contentious. But it just shows that he's got fight, he's got passion, and he hasn't just got technical ability. He's got power and strength, and he's up for it big time. And he's showing us that, and I think he can go from strength to strength this season, and you know, have a he's going to be pivotal for us, isn't he? If we lose him to injury, I know Aaron, you were saying there's probably 2 players in the team that we can't do without, but he would be.
You're right. Yeah, I just can't see how we're going to hold on to him. I have to say, and that's just not being that's just being realistic, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. The end of the season, if he keeps going the way he is, he's definitely gone. But it's, you know, it's big. It's great business from our perspective, and we go away and we unearth the next one, don't we? In that position.
Yeah.
Now, some of you might have been thinking, where's Steve gone? Is he running away from Guess the Player? He's not running away. He's just giving his laptop a bit of a
Completely
boost.
forgot to plug it in. The bloody battery just started flashing at me.
Oh, that's absolutely fine. Was it a penalty, Aaron? I mean, I was comfortable. It was a penalty. I mean, even
I was at the other end because I was 1,200 in the queue and couldn't get him an all stand for that one. But yeah, so I couldn't see. I couldn't see.
You're going to take it, aren't you?
Of course, yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, yeah. I think if it's given, it's not going to be overruled, isn't it? And I think if it was that's a stupid rule about VAR. Forget whether it's a penalty or not. If it's given, it's not overruled. If it isn't given, it's not overruled. So the whole thing's pointless.
Yeah. I mean, did you get an angle at all, Steve, that you were happy it was a penalty? I mean, there were some comments I saw.
I didn't know. I didn't really see. I was a bit like Aaron. I was at the other end, so I didn't really see it in real time. But on the replay, I think it's a pen. He's hung his leg out and sort of made contact with his sort of shin area. So as soon as Evan Nilsson, depending on how hard that, you know, it was regardless of how hard it is, the contact. As soon as Evan Nilsson feels that, he's going down. You know, it's South American players, isn't it? They're going to do that. So I've got no problem with it. And I would be, if it had happened against us, I'd equally say it was a stupid challenge. Yeah. He didn't need to hang his leg there.
Yeah, Southbourne 06, win-win all-round contract, agreed. So great win at the weekend against Brighton. That kept the winning run going. That's 3 in a row. We know we're going to be talking about Newcastle in a bit. And then after that, which we'll come to in a following stream, in a further stream, shall I say, will be Leeds away. And I'll be going to that one as well. Looking forward to that. But it is time to break this stream up, guys, with Guess the Player. And Steve, they did vote for you, 56%, 56%. But
is that because they like me or they don't like me? I don't know. I can't work it out.
So you can play in the interactive chat. This is Guess the Player. hopefully slightly harder. What we'll do, Steve, is we will give you the clip if you want to see it again. And if you want some clues, I will give you some clues. But let's go into our second stream of the season and let's play Guess the Player. Or as Steve likes to call it, Guess the Player quick game, because it doesn't last very long. But we're going to go into it. So, Steve, you ready?
Go on then.
You can have 2 viewings if you want it. Play in the chat. Here we go. Do you want to see it again?
It's at home. I know that much.
Do you want to see it again?
Go on then. Yeah.
Okay. What I'm going to do as well, I'm just going to disable the chat for a moment.
I'm not. I've got it on full screen, so I can't see the chat.
I've got an idea, but I don't know who it was against.
I've got.
It's a good one. It's not easy.
I've got one or two players, but I'm probably both
one
wrong.
more viewing. Okay, and you can play along in the chat. I'll have a look. Only I can see the chat now, guys. So let's show Steve again and see if he can get it. And some of the chat have got it, by the way.
The player I think it is Clivert, but I'm not sure if that's right. No.
No. Do you want some clues?
I ain't got a clue. I know it's at home.
Yes, at home. So let's give you a first hint. Let's
give you a first
hint. He was wearing number 37 when he scored. I've got 3 clues if you want all 3.
I'll probably need all of them and some more.
I think okay, so he was wearing the number 37 when he scored that goal.
Yeah, go on.
Okay.
It might have been the other player I was thinking of.
I think
for Clivert.
I'm hoping I haven't used the same website you use because I think he has played for Scotland.
Oh,
and it's not the one you're thinking.
Oh, right. So it's not the player I was thinking.
Don't say that one. You want the last one? I think you'll get it when I give you the last one.
Go on then.
Bournemouth signed this player from Peterborough in the 21-22 season.
It is who I think it is.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, got it.
In the championship season, we signed him from Peterborough in the 21-22 season. And you'll be kicking yourself, Steve.
He was one of those massive influx of players to get us over the line in the championship.
Think Blackpool away.
What, the game I didn't go to? You keep bringing that one up.
We both didn't go. I didn't go either, but he was prominent in that one.
Philip's got it in the chat. Josh has got it in the chat.
I'm clueless
Tricky
on this.
little winger.
Oh.
Did he go off to France as well?
Did
he go and play for Auxerre?
No, I think he went to the championship. He's in the where is he now?
Did we loan him out to Auxerre? Might be wrong.
Sariki Dembele.
Yes.
Oh, that's so bad.
I liked him.
Hang on a minute. So I get Sariki Dembele, who barely played for us, and he gets Antoine Semenyo last season, and I get Sariki Dembele.
Although
he didn't play for Scotland, didn't he? Was he one of them players? He had about 4 different options.
There was a link. Yeah.
His brothers didn't his brother play up in Scotland as well?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
that's
and
a really
he's got
question. I think.
Yeah, he had about 4 allegiances. I think he could have chose from, but he was never called up for any of them. I don't think.
That's good. Well done to those that played in the chat. There was someone in the chat that actually.
Sorry, that's poor from me.
There's
Who was it against, by the way?
Bristol City.
Right.
3-2.
And it was at Dean Court. Someone in the chat has put another Scottish winger in the chat. They didn't say his name though. They said his nickname. So I don't know. I might have to remove that in a minute.
Snake.
So yeah, it definitely wasn't him.
No.
So that was this week's guest.
Matt Ritchie.
Where's he playing?
Well, that quick.
Where's he gone now?
He's Scottish.
He went from Peter to someone else, didn't he?
Swindon. Didn't he go Swindon?
Where's Swindon now? Is that where he started?
Reading? Is it Reading?
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
I don't know.
don't know. Someone will tell us in the chat because they know way more information like that than us. So thanks for getting involved with that. What we're going to move on now in these streams that we do these fan shows, we're going to do a 15-minute segment where we talk or debate topics that monthly members have sent us leading up to the stream. Now, you can support the channel like loads of you do. You can donate or you can become a monthly member. You just need to visit buymeacoffee.com/Cherries Red Army. Details are in the description below. You can also use your phone and just open the camera, use the QR code, head over there, and you can become a member or donate. And what we'll do, so if you're a monthly member, I'll send you an early message by email if you want to send us a topic to discuss in this 15-minute segment. What we'll also do, if you donate, you'll be put forward on that list for the upcoming stream. So it'll just be that one moment that you donate. But if you're a monthly member, you'll get a chance all the time. So what I've got, guys, and he says what I've got because I had all my notes in StreamYard. They've got this new tab on StreamYard where basically you can add notes. And I've just gone to it, being all prepared and all that, Steve. And they've now disappeared. So you're going to have to bear with me for a moment because we are live.
Can you put the comments back on as well so we can see them?
I will.
Yeah.
Just
I want to see how everyone was mocking me for not knowing bloody Sariki.
I'm going to put the comments back on. Right.
God.
Let's get these up and let's start discussing them. So first, what I'm going to do is let's get the question. Matt, Dan Troman from Cardiff. He said, by the way, that Milo was his man of the match at the weekend. He says, so this is Dan Troman, Matt. One of the many things I love about Iriola is how he adapts players so well to fit into unfamiliar positions. Christie, Dango, Tav, even Cook at right back last season. Are there any other players in our squad who you think could thrive in less natural positions if Andoni switched them up?
Right.
Oh, yeah, it's a good question, that. Good question.
We've got 15 minutes and we've got a big one at the end.
Yeah. I suppose the obvious one is I know Tab's in the 10 at the moment, but you could see Tab in an 8, couldn't you? You could see Tab in an 8 definitely because of the engine that he's got, the work rate that he's got. You could perhaps see him reverting to an 8 if needed. I suppose that's one possible option. And Lewis Cook, I mean, we know he's gone to right back. Could he play centre back? I mean, he's done it before. He's done it with Lewis Cook before. I could see that happening. He's a bit on the short side to be doing it, isn't he, to be honest? It's a difficult one. I mean, I'm not Andoni. I don't see him day in, day out in training either. So you just never know, do you? You never know who could have seen Christie or Cook in those positions or Dango at left back. Maybe even Tav at right back. I mean, Tav's that versatile. Tav would be your go-to, wouldn't he? Because he's that versatile. There's probably about 3 or 4 different positions at least for Tav. So you could see Tav if we needed him in a left back position. Just trying to think the rest of the squad. I think we are potentially lacking a number 9. I know Unel's on his way back to fitness, but he's a completely different type of player. So is there somebody within our attacking ranks that we could convert to a number 9? I suppose would be the obvious question to ask. I know we tried it with Sinistera, didn't we? We tried it with Semenyo. Never really worked. Tried it with Dango and it worked quite well. So now he's gone. Who would be the backup number 9 at the moment with
maybe Adley?
Yeah, maybe Adley. I know we've got Krupi on the bench, but he's young. He's adapting. Possibly Adley. I think he's done it before. Could he convert him to a number 9? So there's all sorts of scenarios. But you're right. Andoni seems to be a master at seeing something in a player and molding him into another position that he feels is more beneficial for him and the team. So you just never know, and that is the hallmark of a great manager, isn't it?
Yeah, and what I want to do with this segment as well, guys, I want to wrap this segment up at 10 minutes past 9 so we can talk about Newcastle. So if I feel like we're losing time because we've got 3 questions and the one at the end is a big one, what I might do is put this on.
What was that?
Just someone just step on
to
your
hurry
foot.
You up.
No,
yeah, it's like literally someone screaming just to hurry you up. All right. So if I feel like the question's going on too long, yeah, that's your time to wrap up.
You barely hear it.
That's very worrying.
Let's probably turn it up a little bit. Is that better? Anyway.
Can everyone else hear that as well?
I hope so.
Barely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Otherwise,
Fucking
it would
hell.
just be us looking at it. Right. Mark and
dear.
Bev, Steve, in Hitchin say, how can we replicate the atmosphere at away games at home? The last time we went to a home game, we were sat behind someone who was browsing on their phone for a new kitchen. Discuss.
But what a great question, by the way.
How?
What a question.
Well, it is spot on. But then again, it might have been a really nice kitchen. You never know.
No excuses. Come on. Pathetic.
I don't think you can. Do you know what? I've been going to football for many a year, and you just don't get that same vibe in the home ground.
We're near the top of the league. How can we not get that
I know. And do you know what? We should be getting that sort of atmosphere in our ground because it's small, it's compact, and you should be getting a big chorus of singing going. But it just doesn't seem to. I don't know what it is. It's just the away day vibe is just so much different to the home one. Of course, you've got a different cross section of fans at a home game. You've got a lot more, your locals, you're more of your elderly, your families there. Whereas the away games, you tend to get bigger groups of friends. You obviously get your families go out there. I'll take my family. But it's I don't know, something a bit about going into the Lions' Den at away games, isn't it? And you sort of us against the world sort of thing, take us on, and everyone sort of meets up beforehand, and that you just can't get that big a number of people interested in it. I think what they should do is sort of a bit like United have done it, because they've moved all their singers, haven't they, into like a certain section of the stadium. I wonder if we could do something similar to that, and you might get an area of the stands that is, I saw it on the last night in the Bayern game. They got all the ultras and the really passionate fans all behind the goal, giving it large. And you look around the rest of the ground, and it's all the people who just want to watch the games. And then, it's fine, and you can't take away from those people. Those people are always going to be at football. I'm going to get shouted at in a minute, aren't I? But I, long and short of it is, I don't see how you can replicate that away day. Atmosphere. It's a shame, but I just don't think you can.
Aaron, very, very quickly, like some are saying in the chat, is this to do with potentially a focus on the refurb and especially the South Stand? Is this something they might focus on?
Yeah, I think I have to. I think the two things have to happen next season. Two things.
Sorry, I just read Ben Youssef's comment about what I was trying not to say.
Yeah. That's the main stand. Two things have to happen next season. I think all max points holders have to be given a season ticket, and I think then people need to decide. The club need to decide: does the South Stand then become the new singing section, or it's going to keep it the North Stand? And if the people then want to move from North Stand to the South Stand, if they don't want to sing, so I think with the increased capacity next season, there has to be the potential for a designated singing stand. I mean, how you decide who goes in it, I don't know, but that's what I think they should look to do, especially if you've got a massive stand behind the goal. And if they want to keep it as a North Stand, that's fine. Then everyone goes to a North Stand and sings, and then the masses can go in the South Stand and sit and browse a kitchen.
You got to remember, just as well, we go to these away games and you see the home fans at these away grounds. They're
not great.
They're no different to us.
We're not alone, but we are one of them.
And they're in bigger stadiums.
Yeah, we're not alone. But
it's never going
to say, Steve, the fact that there's only 11,000 of us, it should be a partisan atmosphere.
It should be, but demographic of where we are, Matt, and
yeah, we're very reserved, aren't we? It's not a footballing town as historically.
Very middle class football.
Yeah, and plus we're a closed shop, aren't we? There's those same 10,000 go all the time. That with the greatest respect, there's a lot of people quite elderly in years, but I don't, with the greatest respect, and we need a new blood coming through, which is what this new stadium development's about, isn't it?
But I don't. There's a good point made in the chat. Is that I don't think the youngsters, not all of the youngsters. I think you're either a singer or you're not. I don't think it makes a difference, really.
We'll see.
I'm completely different at a home game than I am at an away game. An away game, I'm an absolute monster. Now, and at home games, I don't know. It's just the atmosphere you're around.
Quite natural.
Yeah.
It's difficult trying to get chants going and sing songs going.
Right. There was other questions from Roy Frampton in New Zealand. I think he's in New Zealand, although you didn't fill out my form, Roy. You sent me an email. I've sent you a form and it asked you a few questions. There was a few questions from Roy, but I think we'll come back to them on another one because he was talking about if we're worried about losing players in January. So the window's just gone. So Roy, thank you for getting in touch. Do it again. Do use the form and we'll definitely bring it in. But I really want to move on because I really do want to shut this out. We've got like 9-10 minutes to go. But this is a question from Mark Jackson in rugby, and he's asked a really interesting question. And if I just get my question up from Mark. Basically, guys, and you can get involved in the chat on this one. He's asked if we could maybe do a combined Eddie and Andoni best 11. So that's what we're going to do. But really, when you think about it, guys, we've got to do this probably less than a minute a player.
Okay, but hang on. Is this based on how good they were ever or in their peak, whatever, or is it when they played for us?
Overthinking it, I think. We're never going to get it done.
And it's all the players, isn't it?
No, because
it's not just Elphick and Cook, it's Ake and everyone, yeah?
My point would be, like, Jermaine Defoe, brilliant striker, but wasn't amazing for us.
No, I would say for us. I think we could do this maybe with more time. We could do something more like this again, but I think I want to include it. So I think what we're going to do is go around the room, get involved in the chat. We are going to fly through this a little bit. And I asked Mark Jackson to give me the formation, and he said, well, it'd be unfair to give Andoni 4-4-2. So he has gone for 4-3-3. So, Aaron, give me a goalkeeper. So goalkeepers that have played for Andoni and Eddie Howe, best 11.
Benji Bouchel.
I was a big fan of Boric, but I do. It's too early to judge Petrovic, isn't it?
Yeah. And
Kepa was only on loans. I don't know. I'll say Boric, but I'm not convinced he was the best. But I think just he was our player permanently. A lot of good memories about him, and
fans loved him.
Character.
Ramsdale got player of the season when we got relegated, I think.
Oh yeah, Ramsdale. Forgot about him. Bloody hell.
Matt, right back. I think that's a position you played, didn't you?
Yeah, it did. Yeah, not for Bournemouth, but
yeah, we're not putting you in the 11.
Tough one, Matt. Stalwart, who's still playing, or the best recruiter of centre backs.
Yeah, well, that's who it's between, isn't it? 100%. So the fact that he's still playing, I can't look beyond Smithy because he's been here. Look, he's been here. I was still playing when he was here. But first of all, what was that? 2011. He first joined us on loan. That's phenomenal. So it's got to be Smithy.
Steve, first centre back. One of them's just. On. I said one of them's just gone to PSG potentially. Yes,
no
tough
question.
Decision, this.
No,
Aaron, who's playing Who's playing alongside Sabani? I mean, someone sat in the dugout. He was a pretty decent centre back.
Eddie obviously had the characters of Elphick and Cook and incredible Nathan Ake, but Howson was a country mile above them all for me.
Oh, over Ake?
Yeah, 100%.
Are you sure?
Howson will become the best defender in the world, and I think he was.
I agree. Ake is arguably the best player to ever play in a Bournemouth shirt.
Put him at left back.
I would have said that before last season. But Howson was better. Howson was better than Zabani. If it was up to me, it'd be Howson and Ake personally. But that's me.
Yeah, no chance.
In the chat, Ake
as a defender, Zabani is miles better than Howson.
In the chat, I'm not sure. I might need to override. I didn't think I'd need to override.
Don't get me wrong. I'd happily have Ake in there, but I just think, how can you leave Howson
left back?
Yeah, left back then, Steve.
Could put him that way.
It's not my turn, it's Matt's.
Is it?
Left back.
Yeah. Left back.
Yeah. Left back. Well, Charlie Daniels springs to mind for me. I can't look. Look, I'm letting my heart rule my head here because that team, the team that we went up with in 2000,
Daniels was underrated.
Oh yeah, he was underrated, but I'm letting my heart rule. I had the best time of my life during those years, so I'm always going to go with that people from that team.
Right. You're right. I think today's team would walk around that team.
But don't forget,
your heart's ruling your head. Your heart's ruling your head.
Don't forget, there was still those players still got to 9th in the league, same as Andoni's team.
Yeah.
Daniels was outstanding.
I think Daniels has to be in there.
Don't forget, these players, Smithy and Daniels, come through League One, League Two to get to the Premier League and performed at the very top. So for me,
and you scored the best goal ever as well.
Yeah, exactly.
It's too early to say Chauffeur, even though he's going to be on the league.
Of course, it is far too early. Far too early. Daniels all day long.
couldn't wait to get out, so get rid of him.
Yeah, exactly.
Daniels.
Daniels.
Do you know what, Aaron? I mean, there's some good comments in the chat about Howson and Ake. It would probably be Howson down the road, probably Ake now, but I'm not going to override you. That's fair. It was your moment, and I can see where you're coming from. I just can't believe we're not including Ake.
I'll back you up there, Aaron.
So that's
he's outstanding. He's the best player that's ever worn the shirt for me. Yeah, he will be.
Steve, the enforcer.
Two players here.
Well, so yeah, the two players are either Jeff or Tyler, aren't they?
Yeah.
Flip a coin.
God, that's tough.
It is tough because you could say about we always used to say about Jeff when he wasn't in the team.
Yeah.
We used to struggle. And his shithousery was amazing. I used to love some of the antics he got up to.
Yeah, his character was brilliant.
Yeah, I still remember the Son sending off. Was it at home with the 1-0 win? That was our first win against them, wasn't it? I think. Can we have Tyler Lerma in there? Jefferson Adams.
Come on then. We got a few.
I'm gonna go for Jeff. Purely on, he was more robust, as in he was barely injured. He used to play quite a lot. Adams has been quite lightweight a little at times, and he's a bit injury prone. And we haven't just had we had Lerma for a lot longer. Adams, I think, probably will eclipse him, but not quite just yet.
Right, let's get through the rest of the team then. Aaron, one of your midfielders.
Tommy Heffernan.
Harry Arter next.
Okay, Matt.
I can't not have Archer Matee. He was everything, like heart, and again, it's not just about he proved it in the Premier League week in, week out, and I just absolutely love him.
I think Sammy would agree with you in a moment as well. Matt, who's alongside Harry Arter?
Oh, this is a tough one, isn't it? What
Jack
we're talking
Wilshere.
A number 10.
Yeah, it's a 10, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, immediately Clivert springs to mind. I mean, the season he had last year, I don't think you can overlook how much quality he's got and how much he brought to the team. So, yeah, I can't think of a number 10 that's eclipsed him, really.
No.
Off either wing, Steve.
Which one do you want me to do?
Whatever one you want.
Well, let's go right wing, which, depends on what week it is, which side he's playing on. But let's go for Semenyo, because I don't think we've seen anything like him in any of those teams. It's just power, pace, skill, touch, finish. He's got so the ceiling's massive with him, and I think the best is yet to come. And I just don't think we've seen a player like him. Not for us.
He's
anyway.
playing on the other side, Aaron.
Oh God. It's Brooks or Pugh for me. Loved Richie. Obviously, Daniel.
Well, if you've got Daniels, you've got to have Pugh, haven't you?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean, David Brooks has done it for both
hard,
managers.
Isn't it? That is definitely hard.
Brooks has done it for Brooks before his illness for Howe was unbelievable, and now he's brilliant as well, and he's still there. Very difficult, but Mark Pugh is going to just get it on my left for me.
John Spark wants Lewis Cook as the other 8. Ben definitely wants Pugh, but he does mention Dan Juma.
No.
Yeah, he did it in the Championship.
No,
didn't do it in the Premier League.
That was very true. Matt, who's the striker then? Alan Wilson?
No, not for me. No. It's tough. I mean, there's obviously Evan Nilsson, there's Callum Wilson. You've got Josh King you could put a case for. However...
He's going to put Trevor Aylott in.
Trevor Aylott, yeah. Big Trev, get the headband on. No, I'm going to go with somebody who I thought was absolutely pivotal for us and who worked.
I know you've already preempted it, Kirk.
Instrumental for the team. Dominic Solanke for me. Dominic Solanke.
I was just going to do a bow and arrow, to be honest with you. There you go.
God,
there's our very, very quick for the monthly members.
It'd be a bloody good bench we'll have as well.
Find Eddie Howe.
I can't believe Matt Ritchie's not 11. In that team.
To be fair, we had 9 minutes to do that, and we've just overrun where I wanted to be. So there you go. Let us know if you watch this back on replay. Let us know your thoughts in the comments and what you would do with that 11, or if you liked it. Steve, do you think Mark Jackson would be happy with that combined 11?
No, Mark.
His
I
question.
don't really care. He'd probably have something to moan about, to be honest.
There's a lot of contentious decisions
I think
there.
we chucked that off the bat pretty quickly. If
Yeah.
you think about it, I've already sort of like had a little think, well, Matt Ritchie's not in that team. You know, some
Yeah,
of the
you
great
think
players.
players
Jan
coming
Kermigan, what a player he was. Brett Pittman, goal scorer. We forget about the older players a little bit, especially in the current era. But it's interesting how you want to set the criteria for it. If you want to go best players to have ever played that played in a Bournemouth shirt under Eddie Howe or Iraola, then you could make a case for Jermaine Defoe, or you could make a case for Jack Wilshere. No, as in the quality of them.
Your heart's ruling your head at times here, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah, but you've got a lot of affinity.
I think we've got a good mix. We've got a good mix there, to be honest.
Yeah.
But my question was whether you think Mark Jackson would agree with you. Well, let's ask Mark Jackson if he agrees with us. Mark, he doesn't really care for your opinion, apparently.
No, it says the guy who forgot Alex Scott scored more than one goal for us. So
I didn't forget. I was misinformed.
You also forgot, but yeah, that's
Mark, family well?
I wasn't there at that game.
Everyone well? You good?
Yeah, not bad, thank you. Yeah, yourself?
Yeah, no, not too bad. Thank you for the monthly membership. We really appreciate it. You've always been a good supporter of Cherries Red Army, so thank you very much. Thank you for the question as well. There it is. Let's put it on this side. There it is, Mark. Are you happy? What changes would you make?
So I had Ake in ahead of Howson purely because I think Howson was obviously incredible for us, but I think it's more potential for him than I think Ake was a better player for us, and I think Zabani was a better defender, as Steve said, than Howson. So I've just gone for that combination, but I can see why Howson's in there, so I don't hate that one. I would have gone Adams over Lerma. Personally, I think he's a better player. And I can't see because I'm on my phone and it's very small.
So we've got Arthur Cliver as the other two before the wingers.
I had Cliver, but I went for Lewis Cook as well, just purely because of longevity and I think how important he is for us. And the fact that he can slot in at right back if Smithy gets injured. So that's one of the reasons. And then I had
and Solanke.
I actually had Josh King out wide instead of Mark Pugh. Yeah. I thought on his day Josh King was unplayable. I think he was as good as Semenyo on his day.
He got pushed out there a lot, didn't he? I don't necessarily.
Yeah,
he was.
I mean,
he was comfortable with it or wanted to play out there.
His best season was up front when Wilson was injured because he obviously got like 19 goals or whatever it was. But I think I just love watching Josh King play, and obviously I loved watching Mark Pugh play as well. But I think technical ability, I think King was better. And I had Kirkes at left back as well. Again, trying to be head over heart rather than heart over head. I think ability-wise, I would have had Kirkes in there, but the rest I agreed with. So I say that I've changed about 5 or 6 of them. So.
Did you have any quandaries about any of these positions?
I think obviously centre back was an issue. I think goalkeeper as well. I was between Rambo and Boric as well. Boric, and also actually no, who have you got up front? Solanke.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm changing another one then. No, I had Wilson up front. I think as a number 9, I think he was a better finisher than Dom. I know Dom obviously scored a lot in his last season for us, but I think again, Callum Wilson, when he used to run in those channels and when he had a good game, I just thought he was really good. And obviously what he went on to achieve, I know we're not talking about that, but what he went on to achieve at Newcastle, I think I'd put Wilson above him I think.
I know we haven't got an hour, Kurt, but who would you manage this team? Eddie Howe or Andoni Iraola?
Mark, who would manage this team?
See
your
this
question.
I've had this conversation before with people, and I think the argument is Andoni couldn't have done what Eddie did, but I don't think Eddie could have done what Andoni's done.
Yeah.
So personally, I would have. I think in terms of watching the football in the Premier League, I think I would rather watch an Andoni team personally. But that's just my opinion.
Out of interest, Kurt, get the team up again. Is there more Eddie players in there, or is there more Andoni players?
So we've
got 2 that did both.
An Eddie player, aren't we?
Smith and Cook both did.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
It's
6.
pretty
interesting.
Split,
even.
isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty
it's pretty
even.
even, isn't it?
Probably leaning towards Eddie a little bit if you're including.
Can I just say,
Smith.
if we've got Andoni as manager, can we make a compromise and have Mad Dog as the assistant?
My honest feeling is that I want Andoni to stay forever, but the moment he goes, I'd have Eddie Howe back in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Mark,
Yeah,
it was a great question. It put us on the spot a little bit. I was worried because you could literally spend an hour doing this, I reckon. But it was a great question, and I'm happy to override some of those answers because it was your question. Finally, before you go, Mark, and thank you for getting involved on this latest stream. Newcastle on Sunday. We're going to talk about it in a moment. Do you have a score prediction and a thought ahead of that game?
Well, I've got the Newcastle game on at the moment, and I'm hoping tonight's taking it out of them.
Is it has it looked like it has, Mark, so far? Because I haven't watched any of it. Obviously, are they like busting a gut?
Yeah, well, especially first sort of half an hour, they were all over them, and pressing up really high. I mean, that Voltemada's not playing, but could do with some injuries being picked up in the last half an hour. To be fair, just to help us out. But I think the fact they're still in this game, and then they've got not that it will matter too much, but they've got a League Cup game next week as well, I believe, as well. So. The games are racking up for them. So I think, and to be fair, even if they didn't have the game tonight, I'd still back us to win at home. The way we've been playing, I'd still back us to win. So I'm going to go 2-0 Bournemouth. They've not been prolific in front of goal this season, Newcastle. So why would that change?
2-0 again at Dean Court, potentially. And that would be a 4th win in a row. Mark, good to see you. Hopefully see you again throughout the season. Hopefully see you outside the stadium on some home and away games. But really enjoyed that question and thanks for getting involved.
Cheers, guys. Cheers. See you soon.
Mark. We're going into the final part of Cherries Red Army on this latest stream. Please do hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. So it's match day 5 in the Premier League this weekend. Kicks off with Liverpool taking on Everton as the early kickoff. Brighton against Tottenham. Burnley versus Forest. West Ham against Crystal Palace. Wolverhampton Wanderers taking on Leeds. That's our next away game after Newcastle against Leeds. Manchester United against Chelsea. And then late kickoff, really late, 8 o'clock on Saturday, it's Fulham against Brentford. Then on the Sunday, it's Bournemouth against Newcastle because, of course, Newcastle are playing in the Champions League right now. Sunderland versus Aston Villa and Arsenal against Manchester City. So let's move on to Eddie coming back home then, Matt. It's always good to see Eddie back at home in Bournemouth inside Dean Court, but as previous, and he really struggles to beat us in the Premier League, yet to do it, we got to put that aside, haven't we, Matt? And we've got to get a job done.
Yeah, before we start, Rashford's just scored for Barcelona. It's 1-0. So, yeah, that's interesting. I mean, he just can't seem to get a result against us, can he? Which must be very frustrating for him. And I always think to myself when we're coming up to these games, what I want a reporter in the sort of pre-match press conferences that they do. I want someone to pose a question to him really about if he ever thought when he left us in 2020, obviously having just been relegated, he felt it was the right time to leave. Could he have envisaged this really when he left us? Could he actually have envisaged us being in the position we're in right now and where we've been for the last 2 or 3 years? Did he honestly believe when he walked away that this is what would happen? He'd be manager of Newcastle. Okay, that's a separate thing. But that his old club, AFC Bournemouth, would be in arguably a loftier position than he's ever took us into. I mean, if I'm honest, I think he'd probably be fibbing a bit if he said yes. To be honest,
is one of his main regrets, Matt, that the training ground wasn't done whilst he was still here?
Oh, it's such a shame because it was a perfect storm that came together with Max and Eddie, wasn't it? And the rise through the leagues and everything that we experienced was absolutely phenomenal on the pitch, more than we could ever dreamed of. We've spoken about it as Bournemouth fans. We all have. We don't need to talk any more about it. It was just unbelievable. And it was some of the best times of my life throughout that period that I'll never forget, and I'll cherish them forever. But the tragedy was, and it was a tragedy, that the legacy wasn't left by Eddie. So Max just didn't have deep enough pockets to invest in the infrastructure and build us up as a club off the pitch, raise the profile, do things like build up the training ground, build a new stadium, improve the stadium, which still hasn't been done. I know we're on the cusp of it. So that was the real shame. And I'm sure if you asked Eddie privately, he's still a Bournemouth man at heart. He's still a Bournemouth fan at heart. He will share those same disappointments, really, because that was what was needed. It was crying out for it, and we had to capitalise on it really at the time. But finances dictated otherwise, I suppose, and the money was invested on the pitch. But in terms of him coming back on Sunday, he'll be worried about it. He'll know that he's in for a hell of a game again down there. He'll know how good we've been this season. He'll know that we've done a number on him in previous seasons, particularly when he's come up against Andoni. You think back to the game at St James's last season. I mean, that arguably was our best ever Premier League performance in my eyes, to go up there and do what we did with the team we had out, the circumstance, the form they were in, the club that they are, the players they've got, everything came together that day, and it was just unbelievable. So he'll be wary of that, and he's got a heck of a game on his hands. I still think it's a tough game for us. I still think they've got enough quality. I know they're playing tonight, and Mark said they're playing next week again. They've got a squad. They've got players coming back to fitness. They've still got enough quality to hurt us, and our run will come to an end at some point. But it's another big opportunity for us to pick up 3 points at home, isn't it? At the end of the day.
And Steve, we've spoken about this a lot, about the rise, and I think you mentioned it before in previous seasons about how we're looked at differently now, and we're getting a lot more coverage. And this weekend brings two great coaches to the field. It's going to be a great fixture in Bournemouth versus Newcastle. But Andoni Iraola, Eddie Howe, in their own rights, fantastic coaches, both young, different, I think, Steve. I think they are different. And I think they know each other quite well as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think you mentioned it previously that Eddie may have visited Andoni,
I think so,
on his hiatus when he was sort of taking a break from the game. When he travelled around and was getting ideas from other styles of football. So I think there's a bit of a connection there. I think it was Vallecano. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, you're right. Sorry, I've completely lost what your question was.
No, I was just saying, although it's a great fixture between Bournemouth and Newcastle, what you've got is a great fixture on the touchline between two head coaches.
Yeah.
Who want to win the game.
Yeah, they're different. I think Eddie's a bit more pragmatic, definitely, as he's shown. He's got more ways of playing, and he's developed more styles of playing over the years, Eddie. He's had to with the meteoric rise. He couldn't just attack every division the same. He had to sort of make changes and change his style here and there. Andoni, I don't really know his background and how he played before, but we've only seen one thing from him, haven't we? We've seen that sort of rock and roll football, attack at all costs, get the ball up front, turn it over higher up the pitch, and get your chances in. So it's going to be an interesting game. I don't know if Matt says when Matt said about Eddie, he wants to beat us. I don't think he does. I don't think he's that bothered. I think he goes, "Oh, I've lost him again. Oh, never mind. Move on next week."
It is a bit of a worry because they really struggle.
It's got to come to an end at some point, hasn't it?
Yeah, that's the worry.
It's got to that sort of hoodoo he's got. I just don't know. I just don't think we look like we're conceding many at the moment, and that's the thing. I think that's something that's really seems that Andoni's worked on, and the players are responding. We're getting some good performances. We don't seem so open. Tyler Adams, I think, is a massive part of this. I keep saying it. It's just brilliant screening that back four, and I think they're going to have a tough game. They had a tough game here last year, which we should have won.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, handball was handball with us and not with other teams. But hey ho. But yeah, it'd be interesting. I think the interesting thing will be who starts, and like you pointed out earlier, does Diakite come back in, or does Milos, keep that place? I think that's a really.
He might not be fit anyway, Diakite. He wasn't sure.
I mean, if he's fit,
do we actually know what the injury was?
It's a small
it's not a
problem.
bad injury.
Yeah,
Yeah.
small problem. And he said he's more confident in Christie playing than Diakite, so he might.
If he's
keep
fit,
going.
if he's fit, I feel like I would play Diakite. I know Milo was
Probably,
good,
yeah.
but
It sounds like he's not going to be fit.
just because Diakite, again, this is the problem. We get we hype players up like everyone does, and then you don't want to see an average performance and go, actually, it was a one-off. You know, it's the whole Mark Travers game against Tottenham, for example. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. That one game. There's going to be some interesting matchups on the pitch. I think the midfield battle is going to be interesting. There's some players in there like a challenge, isn't there?
Yeah.
The one that really interests me, if he starts for Newcastle, is Elanga, because it's going to be
danger.
Yeah, well, he's still on tonight. He's still playing. So hopefully he'll play 90.
Well, but if it's him against Traffer, I think that'd be Traffer's biggest test today.
Yeah.
And Elanga, although right-footed, likes to come in on his left.
But he's
I thought
rapid.
Minto was a massive handful. I think Minto and
I agree. I agree.
I think you might be right.
I just think Elanga with his electric pace is going to be a real
just
test for Traffer.
A quick point, lads. I just think that the style that Eddie adopts against us suits us perfectly because he likes to play out from the back. He likes to dominate possession, and with our high intensity press, it just suits us perfectly. That's why we've had so much success against them. It's a little bit of a contrast.
You could say that about a lot of the big sides, couldn't you, Matt? They like to dominate the football, and that suits us.
From the back.
And like we've always said, we struggle with teams that want to sit there and low block against us.
Yeah, which I think Anthony realises that he's trying to address that this season, isn't he? And but I think Sunday's a perfect game for us. I really do. Cool matchup.
An interesting comment. An interesting comment in there from Ben, just saying I prefer watching an Iriola team in the Premier League than I did an Eddie Howe team in the Premier League. But he goes on to talk about Eddie Howe in a different way as well. But Aaron, what does concern me a little bit? We've got a few minutes more left in this live stream, guys. So please do hit the like button and get involved. I'll tell you what, put your score prediction in the chat for Newcastle this weekend, and we'll throw a few on the screen. Aaron, what worries me a little bit, and I think Matt picked it out earlier on about, we're on a great little run here, but the games are so tight, 2-1, 1-0, 1-0. And when you look at Newcastle, bit slow out the blocks, and that's probably a bit to do with not having a great transfer window that Eddie Howe really wanted. They obviously had the Isaac situation. I just think the game's going to be tight again. And I do worry about that little bit. But then in the next breath, Andoni was speaking about how we're dealing with these tight games really well. I just don't see many goals between the teams.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, I think it's going to be tight, but I think we have got an advantage that I think our fitness will tell. They're obviously a very fit team, but they're playing tonight, which obviously helps. They're three midfielders, Tonali, Joelinton and Guimaraes obviously are going to put a lot of effort in tonight. The likes of Elanga, as we said already. Voldemort's now come on, so he'll so they're basically, tomorrow won't be a training day for them, and they've got to fly down on Saturday, haven't they? So they're not going to have much time to really prepare for the game, and it's going to be fine margins again. They've lost a world-class striker in Isaac, which is obviously great. Gordon can't play, which is a massive boost for us. So that's two of their best forwards last year who aren't going to play. Cherries gone off with an injury tonight. I don't know how serious that is, but game in 2.5 days. Hopefully he won't be fit. So yeah, from that point of view, but Eddie Howe's teams, we know Newcastle, when they turn it on, can be fantastic. They're going to want to rebound from tonight. And as you say, the law of averages, he's going to end up getting one over on us. But I just think the form we're in at the moment, as Matt said, the style of play that Eddie plays, he's not going to sit back. There's going to be spaces. So they'll obviously be a threat with the likes of Elanga and Barnes, but I think we'll be a threat as well, and hopefully we'll be a little bit fresher. And I do fancy us in this game. I think if Newcastle had everyone available and they weren't playing midweek, if they had a full week, then yeah, I think this could be the one where they maybe get one over on us. But I think everything's, for me, is pointing slightly to our advantage. So I would go for a win for this one. Yeah.
And Steve, very, very quickly as well. I mean, I just think it's going to be a game that we don't have to fear. We should go into this game at home. Again, we talked about the atmosphere. Can we be the 12th man? And I think we need to find a way, especially fourth in the Premier League. We've got lots to smile about. But I think there will be pockets in the game where the tide turns, and it's really important that we defend well when that happens.
Yeah, I don't think we fear anybody these days. Yeah. I think we've shown that, and Andoni's shown that and proved that. We've beaten them all now. And and rightly so. We some of the football we play on our day, we're good. We're a match for anybody, absolutely anybody. And I can't believe I'm saying that about a Bournemouth team in the Premier League. You know, we can take on the top teams, these top teams in Europe as well. Don't forget. And so I don't think. I think Andoni's installed a confidence within the team that they don't go into these games as feeling like they're underdogs or fearing anybody. I mean, you just got to look at the likes of Semenyo. People fear him. They're not fearful of going up against, big, massive defenders like Dan Burn, or he's just going to play his own game, be his own man, and take the game to them. You've got, so many other players that will do that. Clivert does it when he's on it. He's not scared of taking players on. David Brooks has become a bit of a revelation. They're all there's a confidence breeding through the team, and I think I'm with Aaron on this one. I think everything points to us slightly, the scales tipping slightly in our advantage this weekend, just because of the fixture schedule they've got. I think it's going to be a lot big ask for them.
Right, you three, think about your score predictions. I'm going to dive in the chat. Let's get some score predictions out. We used to do this. So it's Bournemouth, Newcastle at the weekend on Sunday. So we've got 2-0, got another 2-0 from Morgan, although Morgan's changed to 3-0. So it's either 2 or 3-0 that Morgan thinks. Chris Hubble's gone for 3-1, the same as Philip Sterling. Wing has gone for 2-1. Sammy's gone for 3-1. So positive Bournemouth fans, 3-1 to the Cherries. In with a new score of 3-1. Mark Cole's going for 2-1. And Sean is there. Ben's going for 2-0. And Morgan's going for 2-0. He's decided on 2-0. And Sean's going for 2-1. Lots of score predictions. Thank you so much for getting involved in the interactive chat. Right, Aaron, score prediction for Sunday?
I'm going to match a lot of them, go for 3-1. I think it will be tight for most of the game, 2-1. But then I think, unlike against Brighton, I think we'll get that third goal, seal it. And it'll be another great day against Eddie. 3-1 to Bournemouth.
Matt, what's your score prediction?
Well, I'm getting worried now because everybody's so confident, including myself. you know what happens on Sunday, boys, don't you, and girls? We get beat 3-1. We get a man sent off after 10 minutes. No, I am confident, and I know it's horrible. It makes me feel uneasy, but I was thinking in my head 5 minutes ago when we were talking about this 3-1. Because I just think, legs will tell. We've got the fresh legs to come on, hopefully. And with the players they've got out, like as Aaron highlighted, the games they've got. Yeah, I fancy us 3-1, which is making me feel really uneasy.
This is from someone who said we're not taking our chances.
Yeah, I know. That Sunday's the time. That's what I mean. Sunday is the time to do it. You just know it's that type of game. We learn from, what football's like when everybody's like this. And we think, we've got this on. We slip up or something happens and we end up losing. And that's how it goes. And that's football. But let's hope not. Let's hope we can do it.
Okay, Steve. So we're in the correct score club currently because we got the score prediction right for Brighton.
We are,
get it right again?
Well,
what's your score?
I've got a little bit of. I'm gonna stick to a little formula I've come up with. So we won the first home game 1-0.
Yeah.
We won the second game 2-1. By a margin of one goal. So this by that logic, we're going to win this 3-2. So that's what I'm going to go with.
Take that.
I think it's going to be a bit of a ding dong battle.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
Well, I think we'll edge it.
Gone for a win in the chat. I think everyone's
I just think we'll edge it because, like the boys said, they're
gone for a win. I think we can win this game, guys. I really do think we can win this game. I do worry about the fact that we haven't lost to an Eddie Howe Newcastle team in the Premier League. My head thinks we'll struggle in front of goal potentially again, and I think it'll be 1-1. That's what my head's saying. But I do think we can win this game. I think we've got a lot of talent in attack. And if we do hit the right...
We're struggling at the moment to put the ball in the back of net. But look at times last season where we just turned up to games, like we destroyed Forest 5-0. We beat them at their place 4-1. We beat United 3-0. We've got it within us. We've got finishers. It's just, there's going to be a moment where we have a game where it'll just...
My heart goes with the famous Cherries Red Army 3-1, and I'll join a few of you. My head. So
you three have gone 3-1.
Well, my head thinks it'll be 1-1, but my heart is the Cherries Red Army famous 3-1. So
if you'd have told me before the Brighton game we got 4 points from these two, I would have taken it, bitten your hand off for it. But
100%.
Yeah. Right. It's been a really good second stream back. Really enjoying these. Thank you for all the support that you're giving us. We're getting so much interaction. Smash the like button, subscribe, and get your final comments in the chat. Aaron, that's number 2 knocked off, and it's been a good stream. Lots to talk. Your final summary of stream number 2 back on the Fan Show.
Yeah, it's great. It's like we've never been away. Right back into the swing of it. Great to have Matt back on. Loved it, and love interacting with everybody in the chat. Yeah, and look forward to hopefully the next stream discussing another win, and looking forward to another win. So yeah, thanks everybody.
Brilliant. Will I see you Sunday?
You will. Yeah,
you will. Fantastic. Matt, good to see you again, and good to have you back on Cherries Red Army. You've been messaging me over the summer going, we coming back? Are we coming back? I miss it. You're here. You enjoyed it?
Yeah, I've been doing all that, and then first stream back, I couldn't make it. So this is my first. I think Aaron's just summed it up. It's like we've never been away, boys, isn't it? And to see everybody in the chat and all the viewers, you know, we're so appreciative of it. We love talking about the game. We love talking about AFC Bournemouth. We share that common passion. I know I always say it, but it's just brilliant to do and be part of. And I've my first one back tonight, and like Aaron says, it just feels like we've never been away. I've just thoroughly enjoyed it, and the fact that we can roll for an hour and a half and more is it's phenomenal, really. So yeah, loved it, brilliant. Look forward to Sunday. Looking forward to this season, and looking forward to more of these. Thanks for having me on. Really appreciate it.
I'll probably see you on Sunday as well. I've got some homework for you, Steve, before the next stream. I'm
not good with homework. I've got everything wrong tonight. I can't remember anything.
Well,
I don't know who our players are.
Your homework is to bring a better stat quiz to the chat next time. That's your
homework. Right, I'll take you on that. Right, I'm going to come up with something for next time.
Good. Your final summary of this stream.
Yeah, it's been good, boys. Apart from, yeah, like I've just said, me getting everything wrong. Yeah, well, I suppose it's back to normal, I guess. But yeah, it's like we've never been away.
LA. We gave you a few hints. It was a hard one.
Yeah. Did anyone else get them? Apart from the chat, did either you not get them?
I got it eventually. Yeah,
eventually.
After
I need to go. I need to go and rethink my life. Don't I? Have a strong word for myself. Yeah, it's been great to be, to have these back again. It's great to have the interaction from the guys in the chat. It's just lovely to talk all things Bournemouth, and I certainly, there's a lot of people out there don't get to necessarily meet up with other fans at the game, so this is a good outlet for them to have a little natter about all stuff Bournemouth. You've got some, Ben there, for example, he's a bit of a distance away from us, can't get down to games, and he gives him a platform to chip in with all his comments, mostly having a pop at me. But yeah, it's all good.
Loving it. Right. Subscribe to Cherries Red Army. We were 11 subscribers away from 2,000. I wonder between now and the vlog for Newcastle, potentially, whether we cross the line as we enter the next stream. Do hit the like button on this video. Thank you so much for everyone who joined us live. If you've watched this back on replay, massive respect to you as well. Do subscribe. Do become a member if you want to. Details in the description below. But if you're going to the game on Sunday, enjoy yourself. It looks like we're going to beat Newcastle again. Hopefully, that's what you're saying in the chat. And wherever you are in the world, thank you so much for supporting Cherries Red Army and Bournemouth. So take care of yourself. Make sure you hit the bell so you know when we're back live, interactive on Cherries Red Army. From me, Aaron, Matt, Steve, and Mark Jackson from earlier. See you soon. Up the Cherries.
Up the Cherries.